Page 113. 3. Listening and strategies. Trends in the workplace. B and C. Listen to extracts from 4 conversations. 1.
Every company should offer it, really. It just makes it easier to organize your own life, especially if you have a family and you have to get your kids to school and so on.
Oh, I agree. There's nothing worse than a 9-to-5 day. Like for me, it means I can do errands in the morning before work, instead of taking time off or having to rush and do them on my lunch break.
Right. Actually, the program is being extended at our company so that you can go into work anytime between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. You have to be at work between 10 and 2. They're saying the biggest advantage is that it helps keep employees.
Well, that's good. When a lot of people leave, it's not good for business.
Right. That and people are less stressed. I guess because they can manage their personal lives better. Like you said, you can go to appointments and do errands, etc.
I guess the disadvantage, though, is you don't always know when someone will be at their desk.
2.
Yes, it's nice if you don't have to go in every day, obviously. And I know some people say they get a lot more done. And I guess a lot of people can do it with email and so on. But the problem is, it's easy to get distracted. See, I'm just not that organized and disciplined, so I would look around and see what chores I should do. Like, I'd want to do my laundry, empty the dishwasher, etc.
Yeah, well, there is that. I guess it's easy to do things like that instead of concentrating on work. But still, a lot of employees are being allowed to do it. Some employers positively encourage them to do it because they know people are more productive that way.
Right.
Apparently, a lot of people are being hired from other cities. It's not always easy to find the right people with the right skills in our small city, especially for IT staff. So that's why they let people telecommute.
So that they can hire more qualified staff.
Right. Well, I have to say I would do it, if I could. Like I said, at least I'd get my laundry and chores and so on done. And I'd save on gas, too. That would be good.
3.
And that's not good, really. Even if it's unpaid, it would be better than not having it.
I agree. When we had our first, I really needed the help, with feeding and changing and so forth. It was difficult being at home by myself. I wish my husband could have been there.
So his company didn't offer it then?
No, and I could only take a few weeks off. It wasn't long enough. I'm sure it's better for the company, too. Employees who get leave like that are happier and less stressed.
I bet. I suppose the disadvantage is, I imagine, men might think that their bosses won't see them as serious about their work, as a result of taking time off like that. And it might harm their chances of promotion, etc.
True, but it's more important to spend that time with your family, don't you think?
4.
Yeah, it definitely has its advantages, though mostly for the company, I think. From their point of view, they save a lot of money, apparently, by not having a workspace and a desk and so on for everyone.
Yeah, that would be a little weird for me. What would you do with all your stuff, like your family photos and your coffee mug and things like that?
Well, I guess they have lockers to store all your personal things, but it would be a pain, calling to reserve a desk for the day. It's probably okay for salespeople if they're hardly ever in the office, but...
Oh, I'd hate it. They tried hot desking back in the 80s, and I heard a lot of people didn't like it. They said employees didn't feel connected to the team, so they never got the chance to get to know each other and build relationships at work and so on and so forth.
So even though it didn't work then, it's being tried again now.
Page 115. Lesson D. Technological change. 2. Listening and writing. Trends in technology. A and B. Listen to 4 people talk about recent trends. 1. Adam.
What I've noticed lately is that the texts I receive are longer and clearer than they used to be several years ago. There's a lot less textees, like BTW for by the way, and LOL for laugh out loud. I guess it's because it's a lot easier to type on a phone now, and also, phones automatically correct spelling, when you hit the wrong keys. I think this makes communication a lot easier. One funny thing is, I have a few friends who don't pay enough attention when they text, and they don't notice when the phone makes the wrong correction. Some of the mistakes are hilarious.
2. Emily.
One thing I've noticed is that people seem to buy more and more things on the internet. Food, clothes, cleaning supplies, you name it. I think it's a more efficient way to buy things, and the result is that people have more free time to do what they want. I used to spend every weekend at the mall. I'd go from store to store with a long list of things to buy, and sometimes I'd find them and sometimes I wouldn't. As for clothes, it could take several weekends to find the right thing. Now people do all that on their computers. Sometimes they'll go into a store, but just to get a good look at something before they buy it online.
3. Tyler.
One thing that has changed in the last few years is that movie attendance is going down. I guess it's because ticket costs are going up, so the trend is for people to watch more movies at home. Most of my friends, they pay a monthly fee and get movies on demand. Of course, they all want to make the experience just as exciting as going to a movie theater, so they spend lots of money on gigantic televisions and sound systems. Thousands of dollars, in fact. And these systems consume more and more electricity just when the whole world is trying to conserve energy. And is all this really less expensive than going out to a movie? People need to get out more, exercise more, and just be more aware of the world outside.
4. Madison.
Something that has changed in the last few years is that people just can't put away their phones, even when they're out with friends. At least, that's the way it is with my friends. It's like when someone's talking about a movie they just saw and they can't remember the name of an actor, so everyone grabs their phones to search for it. And then one person notices a new text message and starts answering it. And someone else is checking email and so on. And then a few minutes later, someone says, "What were we just talking about?" Okay, so maybe I'm exaggerating. But it's more and more difficult to have interesting, intelligent conversations when you get together with friends.
Page 118. Unit 12. Careers. Lesson A. Finding a career. 1. Getting started. B. Listen to 4 students talk about ways to choose a career. Which of the ideas above do they mention? Check the ideas. What other ideas do they suggest?
What's the best way to go about choosing a career? Laura.
I think the first thing to do is to decide on an area you're interested in, and then do some research to find out what jobs you can do in that area. What I'd do first is talk to people and find out what jobs they do, and maybe find out more on the internet. The main thing you need is lots of information.
Jacob.
Yeah, for sure. What you should do is think about what you really enjoy doing with your time, and then see if you can make a career out of it. The good thing about that is you end up with a job you love. I guess what I'm saying is that you need to choose a career you'll really like.
Jason.
Right. And one thing I would do is see a career counselor and take one of those personality tests to find out what your strengths and weaknesses are. And then the career counselors, well, what they do is tell you what kinds of jobs you'd be good at.
Jenny.
Another thing you can do is apply for an internship with a company. The advantage of that is that you get some work experience while you're still in school. What a friend of mine did was interesting. What she did was call up a bunch of companies and offer to work for free on her vacations. She got some great experience that way.
Page 119. 2. Grammar. What clauses? Long noun phrase subjects. What clauses and long noun phrases introduce important information? They are often the subject of the verb be, which can be followed by a word or phrase, noun, adjective, or verb, or by a clause. What clauses?
What you need is lots of information.
What my friend did was interesting.
What I would do is talk to people.
What I'm saying is you need to choose a career you'll really like.
Long noun phrases.
The main thing you need is information.
Something my friend did was interesting.
The best thing to do is talk to people.
The good thing about that is you end up with a job you love.
Page 119. 3. Speaking naturally. Stressing I and you. A. Listen and repeat the conversation. Notice how I and you are sometimes stressed to make clear who you are talking about. Then practice and continue the conversation with a partner.
What would you do if you found your dream job and then hated it?
I don't know. What would you do if you hated your dream job, Kate?
I have no idea what I'd do.
I know what I would do. I'd quit immediately. Life's too short. How about you?
Page 120. Lesson B. The World of Work. 1. Building vocabulary and grammar. A. Listen and read the interviews. What career plans do these students have?
Where do you think you'll be working 5 years from now? Ashley.
Well, I'll have finished my degree in media studies by then, and what I really want to do is get a job in communications. You won't be seeing me on TV or anything. I'm not cut out for that. But I may be working in, publishing or journalism as an editor or writer or something. Or maybe I'll have gotten a job in advertising or public relations. That would be fun.
Albert.
Well, in 2 years, I'll be graduating with a degree in nursing, so I'll be working in the field of healthcare. One thing I think I'd like to do is be a psychiatric nurse, but I'm not sure. Hopefully my wife will have graduated from medical school by then, too. She'd like to be a pediatrician, or else a surgeon.
Jesse.
I won't be doing what I'm doing now, telemarketing, that's for sure. This fall, I'll be starting a degree in business management. So in 5 years, I'll have graduated and gotten a job in the construction industry. I probably won't have had much experience, but I'll be working with civil engineers, contractors, construction workers, and so on.
Simone.
Hopefully, I'll be working as a financial analyst in an investment bank. My dad's a stockbroker, and my mom's a tax advisor, so I guess I'm following them into the financial sector.
Cheryl.
I don't really know. I just hope I'll be using my languages. I might be working as an interpreter or a translator, Or maybe I'll be working in the travel industry.